Today I'm going to be talking about business, passion, and why they need to coexist unless you follow a few simple rules. So, first of all, a little bit about me so you kind of have an idea who you're talking to, who you're looking at. My name is Jeanette Minley, and I am a marketing coach / personal branding coach for people who are here on this planet to make a huge difference with their gifts, with their talents, with the stuff that they are good at and they want to actually impact the world in a positive way. So I help mobilize those people. And I do that by helping them get their marketing right, get their branding right, get their message out in a way that's efficient. So with that covered, I want to talk today about business and passion and why you need both, unless you follow a few simple rules or unless you happen to fit into this category. So you hear a lot about this out in the business world. There's two camps, so to speak, on this topic. The first camp is find what you love and you'll never work a day in your life, right? You've heard that before. You hear people talking about if you actually do what you love, it's not going to feel like work. You're going to continue to help people and you're going to get compensated for it, and it's very fluffy and happy and awesome, and there's that camp. The second camp, which is becoming a little more prevalent right now, is find the pain, fix the pain equals business, right? So there's not a lot of passion involved. You may have some kind of passion, but your passion really needs to be about solving problems. So these two ideas seem a little bit juxtaposed, right? You're like, okay, on one end, passion doesn't matter. On the other end, passion absolutely matters. It's the only thing that matters. So I want to kind of put my thoughts on this out there and see what you guys think. So if you want to start a business that you're not passionate about, you're just like, okay, I want to create some income, I see this need, I can fill it, blah, blah, blah. There are three things that you need to be if you're not passionate. So if you are not passionate, you need to be these three things. The first thing is a master delegator. If you are taking on a business that you are not passionate about, I'm going to tell you really quick, you're going to be very, very discouraged at the beginning. And here's why. When you start going into business, you're going to eventually hit a point kind of towards the beginning when you're like, oh boy, this is work. This is work. This is more work than I thought it was going to be. And what happens is, if you don't have passion behind you, you're gonna run out unless you have a delegating bone. You're like, yes, okay, I don't like this, let me find somebody else that does it. So if you are looking into getting into a business that doesn't necessarily light you up, which I'll get more on that whole topic at the end, but then you need to be a master delegator. Master delegator, you need to immediately outsource everything that you hate because you don't have passion driving you to get better at this particular thing. So let's just throw an example out there so you have an idea what I'm talking about. You decide, okay, you know what? Vinyl signage is very high profit, very lucrative. I should get into it, right? P.S. I did that for a bit. So you get into it and you realize, man, the money's good, but like dealing with the like weeding the letters or dealing with some of these big orders, like large size orders, they're kind of tedious and they're not fun, and you like sometimes mess things up and whatever. So in that situation, if I were a master delegator at the time, I would have immediately just hired somebody to take care of the parts that I didn't like. Instead, I did it for a while and I eventually was like, no, I'm done with that. Okay, so if you want to start a business that doesn't line up with your passion and you're just trying to solve a problem, you have to be a master delegator. But you also have to be a master motivator, particularly motivator of yourself. So this is especially important if you are not delegating. You need to be able to turn on and say, okay, I'm excited, let's do this, let's crush it, because your enthusiasm shows, or doesn't if you're not excited. So this is especially important when you are on camera sharing your stuff, or if you are, trying to sign clients, when you're interacting with other people, they have a really, people in general have a really good BS meter, and they can tell when you're fake excited. So you need to be able to motivate yourself and wrap your mind around being excited for this particular business, even if it's not your passion. So if you are good at that, that's great, because you'll be able to make it further than a lot of other people would. And the third thing is that you need to be a super speedy learner. Obviously, this is going to go in tandem with everything else. If you are not passionate about something, you probably aren't going to be super motivated to go learn a lot about it, which means you're not going to be super motivated to share a lot about it. So ultimately, you're burning the candle on both ends here, because you aren't filling your knowledge to share that knowledge with other people. So you need to have a lot of discipline to say, okay, this is super boring to me, but let me go learn it anyway, because I need to know it in order to teach it, in order to make money from this business that is not my passion. So as a final note on this topic, I know I kind of went fast, but I get really, really riled up about this topic. It is okay to start a business that your passion is not aligned with. That is fine, okay? But consider all the things I just said. Consider all of that, and consider how much more fulfilling it would be to have a business that's actually aligned with your passion. And a lot of times people get confused about what that means, or like, what is passion? What is that? You know, and really, you have to sit down and have a moment of self-awareness and say, what do I want out of life? So if you sit down and you ask yourself this question, what do I want out of this experience? What do I want for myself? What do I want for my family? What do I want, right? You sit down and you ask yourself these questions, and if your big thing that you want is travel, for example, then that can be the main motivator behind your non-passion oriented business. So your desire is to travel, your whole life you want to do that. That's your main motivator. You're able to create these more non-passionate businesses because your main drive is to create a business that will run on its own so that you can go travel. Is that clear? Am I clear enough with that? You have to be really, really aware of yourself and what you actually want in order to create these kind of hands-off businesses. And you have to be able to delegate, you have to be able to motivate, and you have to be able to learn. Or delegate someone who is motivated and is a quick learner. Then you knock them all out at once. So yeah, that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. What do you guys think on this topic? Like, is passion important? Is it not? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments of this video. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm looking forward to talking with you tomorrow. Bye.